Welcome to Life Journey Information Show. I'm your host, Theophilus McPherson, and I'm back to part two of living in a fantasy world. What is a fantasy world? A fantasy world is a make believe world, a world that you think you will never get old, a world that you think your parent will never die, a world where you think you're living beneath or above your privilege. You live in a world that is fantasy. You live in a world that's make-believe. You live in a world you think you'll never get old and your parent will never die. My friend, this is a world of facts. The fact is one day your parents are going to die. One day you're going to get old. And one day you're going to realize that you should have saved your money rather than living above your mean. What you talking about? I'm talking about people that are young adults that living in a world of iPhone. You're living in a world of iPad. You're living in a world of the latest electronic that comes out, and you know that you are getting older and you have no place to stay, no place for your children to stay. You think that it's fun when you jam-pack your parents' home with all these toys. Yes, with all this stuff that you should have a place of your own if you'll listen to the guidance of your father and listen to the guidance of your mother. Listen, young people, especially young adult, if you are watching this video, realize that one day you're going to get old. One day your parents is not going to be around. And you're going to have to face the fact of reality, that knowing that you're going to live in a world that your mother not going to be there, your father not going to be there, and you're going to be having 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 jobs, and realize that you gotta buckle down and be responsible. Be responsible for the fact that one day you're going to realize that your mother not going to be around no more to wash your clothes. So it's time for you to start learn to wash your own clothes. Realize that you got to learn to cook, because your mom been cooking for you. Now you're getting older and you are at the restaurant every day. You at Mama San every day. You at that Popeye's chicken, greasy chicken every day. And you eating McDonald's food every day. And you getting older and you're getting big. Obesity is hanging on you and you can't even boil a pot of water. It's time to live in a world of facts, not fantasy, because fantasy will make you say, oh my God, what happened? Listen very carefully, that one day your mother gonna die. One day your father gonna die. One day it's gonna be just you to face the fact of life. And the fact of life is you gonna get old one day. And guess what? All the money you spend on electronic can't help you. All your life you spend on electronic iPhone, electronic iPad, electronic, all this watch, iPhone watch, and you still living at home being 30 years old? It's time to face the fact, son. It's time to face the fact, daughter. It's time to face the fact that one day you're gonna get old. And if you ain't been saving your money, it ain't funny. When you gonna be saying, my God, what happened? Everything that mom and dad been saying to me, it buckled down, that reality has hit me, and I don't know what to do. Listen, if you are a young adult and you're still living at home, you have the opportunity to save your money. Put your money in the bank. Stop going after the fab of life, the expensive clothes, the expensive shoes, the expensive suits, the expensive haircut, the expensive diamond earrings and tattoos and all. Listen, my friend, those things can't help you when hard time hits. And you gotta listen. You gotta face the fact of life that one day your parents gonna die. One day you're going to have to bury your mama or bury your daddy. One day your parents going to be in a nursing home saying, oh, Johnny, I got to go now. Susie, I got to go now. And we got to realize that one day we gonna get old. That's what I'm trying to tell you, young people. You're not gonna stay young forever. If you just have a dinky job like Family Dollar or Dollar Tree or Safeway or Giant, if you're not a manager, it's time for you to find your job that making you enough money. And if not, go back to school. If you're living in Washington, D.C., it's a lot of opportunity for you to go back to school. Yes, if you live in Maryland, it's time for you to move to D.C. and get the opportunity to go back to school, learn your trade, and get on the opportunity. Get into IT. Get into being a security officer. But don't go for the dinky job. If you ain't going for the management's top, it's time for you to buckle down and get you a real serious job, because one day you're getting old. You're getting old by the second, by the minute, and by the hour. Every day you are getting older. And you're going to realize that, listen, time is ticking on my life. And I can't keep on living in the electronic world, because I'm going to get lost in this world. Listen, and listen to me very careful. One day your mama gonna die. One day your daddy gonna die. And you, listen, your aunt ain't around. Your uncle ain't around. Nobody around. But guess what? You're gonna depend on welfare, and welfare gonna be gone. Depend on public assistance gonna be gone. You depend on all this assistance, and guess what? All that gonna be gone one day. And you gotta go in and scuffle and hustle. Don't sell drugs. Don't sell your body. Don't even do things that you know you're going to get caught and get locked up one day. But go back to school. If you're young and you're still living at home, it's time for you to learn your trade. Learn your opportunity to make you some money. And it ain't funny. So I'm saying to you, my friend, live in the real world. The real world is your parents are going to get old one day. And you're going to have to be on your own. You're going to have to cook your food. You have to pay your bills. You're going to have to live paycheck to paycheck, which you shouldn't do, because you live in America. Guess what? Let me tell you something. You live in America. You live in a land of opportunity. You live in a land that everybody trying to get here to live the American dream. The American dream is not making 6 digits. The American dream is, guess what? You are not living paycheck to paycheck. The American dream is not having a big house, a nice house, a small house, a large house, but the American dream is to be saved. Yes, my friend, the American dream is to know who Jesus is. Don't follow the fad. Don't follow the fantasy that you think you making 6 digits now. You got your big house, your car's paid for, you living large. No, my friend, you're not living large. If you don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you're not living large. If you don't know Jesus Christ as the pardon of your sin, you're not living large. To live large is to know Jesus. To live large is to be saved, to be sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, and fire baptized. I didn't say join a church. I didn't say which church you belong. I'm telling you, are you saved? Are you sanctified? Are you Holy Ghost filled and fire baptized? And it's amazing, as we get older, we think we are gods. We think that we don't need to go to church no more. We got a nice job. We go to job, we get paid, we live in law. My friend, you're going to need Jesus. And oh my God, is blaspheming. TGIF is blaspheming. So what I'm saying to you that's watching this video, it's time for you to face the fact of life. To face the fact of life is to know that one day your parents gonna die. One day your parents ain't gonna be here no more. And if you are depending on your parents, it's time to you to cut the dependency of being a young adult. Face the fact, my friend, that one day you're gonna have to bury your mother, You have to bury your father, and you're going to be there all alone. And guess what? It's time for you to buckle down, and you can't be living in the electronic world. What is the electronic world? iPhone, iPad, playing video game all your day, watching television, watching the football game. What a football game doing for you? Because football is fixed. Sports is fixed. But I'm telling you, it's time to face the fact of life. The fact of life is, if you don't have no money saved up, you live in a fantasy world. If you depend on your parents, you live in a fantasy world. So what I'm saying to you, my friend, welfare is not the answer. Public assistance is not the answer. TANF is not the answer. And the answer is Jesus Christ. The answer is, oh God, I need thee right now. Yes, we're living a time right now that God is exempt out of our life. Xmas. So I'm saying to you, if you're watching this video, I'm telling you, it's time for you, the young adult, it's time for you to start saving your money. Act like the world is about to come to an end. And if you're not saved, it's time for you to get saved. If you don't know who Jesus Christ is in the party of sin, it's time for you to know Jesus Christ in the party. Jesus is not a hippie with long hair and blue eyes. That's not Jesus. Jesus is not a man that's white. That's not Jesus. Got long hair. That's not Jesus. Got blue eyes. That's not Jesus. But Jesus was a Jew. And the Jews are not black, they're not white, but they are Jew. So I'm telling you, my friend, it's time for you to face the fact of life. The fact of life is, it's time for you to grow up. You're acting like children being adults. You can't even wash your own clothes. You can't even cook your own food. You're dependent on a restaurant. You're dependent on mama and daddy to wash your stinking clothes. Come on, you are 30 years old, and you're still living at home. You don't have a bank account. Come on, you can't even pay your phone bill. You can't even pay your rent. Come on, listen to me. Listen to the last time your mama and your daddy gonna die, and you're gonna be all alone. If you don't know Jesus Christ, you're gonna be all alone. But if you know Jesus Christ, you're never alone. So if you are a young adult still at home, you live in a fantasy. And you have all the latest electronics, and you don't have a money stored away or in a bank, you are living beneath your privilege. And one day, you're going to face the fact when your parents die, and you're going to say, wow, what happened? I'm telling you this is what to do. If you're young, it's time for you to start saving your money and stop living in fantasy. Stop living in fantasy.